6th graders. Welcome to the weeks of word problems. The past 2 weeks we have reviewed chapter 12 and 13, and so far we've finished all the chapters in the textbook. Not chapter 11 though. We skipped chapter 11. We are hoping that we can go back to school and learn chapter 11 at school. So before that, we're going to do some word problem practice. You can see the titles here. There are 4 sections. There are word problems about fractions and mixed numbers, about decimals, and there are word problems that requires more than one step, and there are problems about multiplying and dividing fractions. For each section, we will practice on it for a whole week. I will give you about 5 word problems a day, and in the end of when we finish 2 sections, every 2 sections, we will have a small quiz. I will do some explanation each day. It may be explaining the problem itself or explaining the calculation skill that involves. So yeah, let's look at the word problems for today, day 1. An electrician measures and cuts 2 pieces of wire. Now one piece of the wire measures 3/4. The other piece measures 9/12. What is the combined length? Combined length is if you put 2 pieces together, what is the total length? Number 2, Vanessa had a bag of Skittles and she ate 1/4 before dinner and 1/2 after dinner. 1/4 of the bag before dinner, 1/2 of the bag after dinner. How much more of the bag does she eat after dinner than before dinner? So obviously she ate more after dinner than she did before dinner. But how much more is the question. Number 3, a reading group is reading their book. They still have 3/4 of the book left to read. If they read 2/5 of the book over the weekend, how much will they have left to read? So they already read 1/4. They have 3/4 of the book. Then they read another fraction of the book, 2/5. How much do they still have left? It is the same logic with questions like, I have 4 apples, I ate 1, there are 3 left, and then I ate another one, how many is left? It is just a fraction version. Yeah, I hope it's clear enough. When I read this question, I was quite confused. If we have questions, we can always talk about it tomorrow in the Zoom meeting. Number 4, Miss Swenson brought in cupcakes for her students. When school's over, 3/6 of the cupcakes were left, and then they ate 1/3 of the cupcakes. What fraction of the cupcakes were left? We don't need to know the number of cupcakes, but we just need to find out what fraction of the cupcakes were left. So there's 1 fraction of it left, then another fraction of the leftovers eaten. So what is the fraction left? That's what it asks. 2 brothers are enjoying a box of spicy chips. John ate 1/5 of the bag, and Samuel ate 1/2 of the bag. So who eats more? It's Samuel, right? He ate more than John, but how much more? did Samuel eat than John? How much more of the bag? So it's a fraction. Your answer will look like, if it's 1/3, you will say Samuel ate 1/3 of the bag more than John. Something like this. We learned adding and subtracting fractions last year in the classroom. Most of you did a good job, and I believe you still remember how to do it. But just in case, let's have a very quick review of adding and subtracting fractions. And to add or subtract fractions, you need to change the fractions so that they have common denominators. They have the same denominator. We need to find the common multiple of these two numbers, so that we can change each of them to an equivalent fraction with a common denominator. All right, the multiples of 4 is 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, and there's 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and so on. Multiples of 5, there are 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 20, 25, 20, 30, 35, and there are more than one common multiples, I believe, but the smallest common multiple is 20. So 20 is going to be their common denominator. So 4 times 5 is 20. We do the same for a numerator so that it remains equivalent. It is the same fraction. Minus 5 times 4 is 20. Now 1 times 4, so it remains the same value. And it will be 5/20 minus 4/20. It would be 1/20. That's how you do subtracting fractions. With adding, it is the same. You add the numerator when you have a common denominator. So the first step is to find the common multiple, the least common multiple, change the denominator into common denominators, make sure it's equivalent, make sure whatever you multiply with the denominator, you multiply the same number with the numerator, and then you add or subtract the numerator, and the denominator remains the same. That's how we do adding and subtracting of fractions. The problems for today.